on our second day at Big Lake, after probably the worst conditions you can encounter. We came up here on a beautiful day. The following day, a big cold front blew in. Winds probably 15-20 miles an hour. Then it changed directions out of the north-northeast. Today, super cloudy, and here it is raining now. So we pretty much have seen it all. And in between that, we did manage to catch fish and caught them on everything, including the popper.
Can we get a bloop bloop?
Bloop bloop. Bloop bloop.
Popeye! Going bananas all of a sudden.
Well, here we are. We're fishing a cove in Big Lake, Maine, throwing pop-Rs, and there you go. That's a decent smallmouth bass here. Catching them right off this little inlet here that flows into the lake. Right there. This is a Shoreline Camps smallmouth bass. Welcome to the Real Deal Tackle Look Back. These are the lures that worked on this trip. Now up first, we're going to go over the lures of DINO. DINO, it was fun so
Richie,
far, right?
It's been great, man. We had a good time this week.
Let's go over what worked for you.
Okay. Pretty much, as you know, we had a really successful couple of days. We ended up probably well over 100 plus fish. What I was using most of the time with this Pro Angler's Choice, which is a Damiki tackle, crawfish. It's got a little green and a little red in it, basically. Nice crawfish pattern, and I was fishing it Texas style, so I was using a little bullet weight with a number 1 odd Gamakatsu straight shank hook, and I was just basically doing it weedless, just like that. And this was a really productive bait for me these last couple of days. I found it worked great on this rod, and I used it just about for most of my my fish that I caught. I was also using a Senko worm, and I was fishing this both ways. I was using this green colored worm, and I was also using this Texas style, doing the same way as I did the craw. I had a little bit of a heavier bullet weight on this one, probably more like about 1/8 to a 1/4 of an ounce on this one, just to get it down into the heavier weeds a little bit more. And then I was also fishing it wacky style. And when I fish it wacky style, I like to use an O-ring belt, which I put through the middle.
And they save that thing so
and then,
much.
Yeah, basically what ends up happening, the fish will hit this, you get the fish, this slides up the line, and then you have the hook inside the fish, and then it saves your worm. Otherwise, a lot of guys that don't use the O-ring end up having to replace these worms almost with every fish. So it's really a one worm per fish bait, unless you use the O-ring, and then you get multiple fish out of it.
And it's also a cheap tool. I think it's under $10.
Absolutely, very inexpensive. You can get them as a set with the little tool. The little tool basically looks like this. It's a little tool like this. You load it up with the O-rings. You go ahead and slide the O-ring down over the shaft.
And right onto the Senko.
And then the Senko you slide into the hole, and then boom, goes right into the Senko. And then you can put it anywhere you want on the Senko. I usually do it in the middle. But for the last couple of days, those really were my two go baits, was the Senko worm and that Pro Angler's Choice crawfish. And as far as the Senkos goes, I was using the green pumpkin. I also had green pumpkin with red and baby bass. Those were the 3 colors that I was using that worked really well for me. So turn it over to Richie.
Okay. It was a finesse bite out there. We were using wacky rig worms. Now what I did to be a little different is Power Team Lures makes this awesome lure, the Finicky Tickler. It's about 4 inches, and this was killing the mommy. I rigged it just with a jig head right down here like this. Came out, and just regular jig style with the exposed hook bouncing that off rock. This right here was the ticket for me. And I would let it fall, flutter it up, let it hit the ground. And again, it's the Finicky Tickler by Power Team Lures.
This is Bill Peraino here for The Real Deal. I want to show you what was working for me today, these past 2 days. What I have here is the Kitech or Kitech, however you say it, they catch fish. It's a swing impact. It's not the fat one, it's the regular size one. On a 1/8 ounce Kitech jig, I have it rigged this way. And they were catching a lot of fish, large fish, small fish, any kind of fish. And I was switching off to another bait that I picked up that I'm really excited about. It's called the Power Team Lures Croix d'Ivoire. It is 3.5 inch. This is deep melon pepper color, and I have it rigged. Again, I have an 1/8 ounce jig head. This is what the bait looks like here. You can see it. It's a crawfish pattern. What I do is you just, when you get it out of the package, you remove the thing in the middle. It holds the claws together. And I rigged it with an 1/8 ounce jig head. Exposed. There wasn't many weeds where I was fishing. I was fishing rock and ledges and stuff. And that's what it is. And they were catching some bigger fish.
Thanks for watching the Shoreline Camps edition of The Real Deal.
And if we see you out in the water,
Keep it real. All right, we're done. It's a take.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away haven't changed, had much to say, but man, I still think them cats are crazy.